everybody, I'm Patricia.
And I'm Patrick.
AKA the Pop Culture Twins, and welcome to this week's episode of Inside the Cage. So, today, we're gonna have some real talk about relationships. I really need to get something off my chest. Now, Patrick here, he's a father of 3 kids, right?
Yeah, little Patrick's 21, Nico's 11, and Ava's, she's 7.
And how many children do I have? 0.
Well, you have to get out of the mindset of being affected and living in this box with these moralistic views where you have to be in a marriage or in some type of committed situation to have a kid. I have 3 kids by 3 different women.
Well, see, it's not that I don't have a problem with you having 3 kids with 3 different women. The deal is, in our family, it seems like our family tradition is to have children out of wedlock. And I had 2 sisters who had teenage pregnancies, and they had, get this, here's the shocker, they had children the same year, the same month, a week apart. Yeah, I know. I did a number on our mom, and my oldest brother, he got a girlfriend pregnant, and had a child with her, and then was married and had 2 sons with his wife. But I just kind of thought, maybe I can break this cycle. Maybe I can break this tradition. And I don't know, I think it's kind of hindered me from meeting that guy and settling down and having a family. But, back in the day, it was seen as, illegitimate children, bastard child, you can't do that.
I never understood, why does it have to be illegitimate? What makes it legitimate? What makes it, who's to say what's illegitimate and legitimate when it comes to my life?
Right. And that's why I commend Madonna, because Madonna, who doesn't give a damn about what people think, she was like, I want to have a kid in 1996. I'm going to have a baby. So she had a daughter with her boyfriend, Carlos Leon at the time. And I think she never had any plans of marrying him, but she wanted to have a child. She went on to later marrying director, Guy Ritchie, and they had a son. The marriage didn't work out, but she knew at that moment in her life, I'm going to have a baby, I'm going to do it, and everything's cool. Her and Carlos, have a beautiful girl, Lourdes, who's grown, and she's got a great relationship with the dad. But then things didn't work out so well when Halle Berry did it with Gabriel Aubrey. And then when things fell apart, they got into a big custody suit. But then she did get married to actor Olivier Martinez and just recently had a son with him. And now she's got her happily ever after.
Well, people get together and break up all the time, but there's a kid involved. To bring the kid into a relationship, we have these moralistic rules society has set up. But who even came up with these rules? I'm not following the rules if those rules put me in a position of misery. Someone else's views that I need to follow. And if I follow these views, society looks at me different. But if I follow these views, I already know I'm going to be miserable. I'm not going. I don't care. I will not sacrifice 2 seconds of my happiness because of what someone else thinks. I like my situation. I think it's great. All my kids are happy. I'm happy. The mothers of my kids are happy. I don't care what society thinks.
That's the case. A lot of women in the entertainment world are saying, I'm going to have a baby first and leave the I do's to later. Like Alicia Keys, when her and Swiss Beats, she walked down the aisle and she was pregnant with their first child, and it was great. And speaking of Kardashian, Kim Kardashian did the same thing. She and Kanye had baby North, and then they finally got married, tied the knot, and now they're expecting a second child.
And they look pretty happy to me.
They do. But, why do people always think, that, it's an accident or something like that? Like, just last week, I was watching Evelyn Lozada, reality star Evelyn, and now she, she's moved on. She's got a great guy, Carl Crawford, who plays for the Dodgers, and they fell madly in love instantly and decided, let's have a baby. And she said to the camera, no, it's not a oopsie. Didn't have it on accident. We wanted to have a baby, we did it.
Why does she have to state that? Who cares what someone thinks, whether it's an oopsie or not? Who determines whether it's an oopsie or not?
I think she was just proud of the fact that, hey, if I want to have my baby now, whether I, go down the aisle, they are going to get married and do the whole marriage thing and all that. But she was just like, who says I have to do this in order? This is what we wanted, we decided on, and that's what we're gonna do.
But what does marriage represent? There's so many people that participate in the act of marriage but don't feel married. There's so many people that look and act married that aren't married. Marriage is just a contractual agreement. I don't need a contract in my life to say I want to be with someone. I can accomplish all I want to accomplish in my relationship without a contract. That's all the act of marriage brings to the relationship. You feeling married is a feeling. If he makes you feel married, then what do I need a contract? What does the contract bring to my relationship if I already feel married with someone? So my thing is, it's amazing how people get caught up in someone else's impression about what kind of lifestyle person needs to live to be considered a just right life. So your view of you would never participate in parenthood without a wedding. Is that how you feel? That you need a wedding to participate in in parenthood?
More so, my situation is just I want my child to be able to be in a home where he's being raised by a mother and a father, which I feel is a luxury today because of so many single, family homes.
But do you think that your child can be happy in a single parent home?
Me, I don't want to raise a child alone.
Okay, that's a personal choice, and I understand
I
that.
don't. I want my child to know they have a mother and a father that they can go to.
It's
not because I want him to have mother and father. I don't want to do it by myself.
Okay, that's what it sounds like.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm like, it's great being a strong black woman, but sometimes you get tired and you just want to put the load on somebody else and hold it for a little while. I'm tired. I want somebody to carry the load for me a little bit sometimes. And that's just really what it is. But raising a child is not easy. Raising 6 kids, our mother raised 6 of us all by herself and 2 grandchildren in the house. So it's hard. It's not easy. I don't want to do it. If they want to do it, that's fine. But look at Jennifer Hudson. She's with her man, David Otungo Jr. They have a son, and they've engaged, but she's not showing any signs of getting married right now. And now she doesn't have time because she's on Broadway. She's getting ready to do
and they look happy.
Color Purple. Yeah, she looks happy. But I love how the press doesn't pressure her.
Well,
they don't give her, they say, and the same with Shakira. Shakira is what I really love. She's with this big, soccer player. She's had 2 sons by him now. They no hurry to get married. She doesn't even mention getting married. And I think Shakira doesn't want to get married, to be honest.
I never cared what the press says. I mean, the press has no power unless you give them power. The press can say what they want to say. It was funny. I was in the line one day at the store, and I was reading about Brad Pitt. I don't know, some, Inquirer or something. It was just talking about Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, all negative. But I was just in line, so I was reading it. I just happened to go home, and on the news, who did I see? Brad Pitt in New York, hat backwards, some cut-off shorts, on a bike, riding, weaving in and out of cars. And I was like, wow, Brad Pitt doesn't give a damn about what the press is saying. He's having a ball right now driving through New York. And the thing is, the press has no power in Brad's life because he's not given any power. He doesn't care. That's how I am. I do not care what anyone says about my pursuit of happiness. And I think people do not pursue happiness genuinely because they're affected what people think about it. And like I say, I applaud when I see people walking down the street with yellow and orange hair because they don't care. It makes them happy to have yellow and orange hair, and they don't care. They're at a place of peace and happiness, and the people that are pointing at them are the miserable ones because they want to be like that, and they're scared to. So my thing is, I think everyone should take a step back and think about what would really make them happy. I call it my world. And in my world, you need to sit back and say, okay, you have to exclude the kids because the kids are a sacrifice extension of your happiness. And then there's a contributor side, which is someone you allow to contribute to your happiness, which probably would be a significant other or your mate. But in the core, it should be something called my world. And my world consists of what would you do when you wake up in the morning all the way to the end of the day, every day. if you had that choice. And remember, this contributor part is interchangeable. It's no permanent spot. So if this fool come in here, he won't act right, get little on him. And, oh, you guys don't understand what get little means. Get little is like when you're trying to get away from someone and you choose to walk out of their life, have that person watch you. And as you say bye and you walk away, if he keeps watching you, you're going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's because you're getting little on him. You're getting away from him. So if you pursue this my world, and then you have this sacrifice like I have for my kids, that's another form of happiness. And then I have this interchangeable part of the contributor, then I'm complete with a core foundation of being happy every day. And I'm not sacrificing and letting anyone mess that up. And I think if all people worked on that, we'll all be happy. We don't have time to point at other people and try to figure out how they should live their lives, because I'm too busy participating in my own world, being happy.
Well, let me bring this last scenario to you. Ciara, she's been seen around town with the quarterback Russell Wilson, and now all of a sudden he's like, we want to do it right, being a Christian. We're going to abstain from sex. And I'm sitting there like, I'm trying to figure out, why is he doing this? Because of the fact, is it because Ciara is a single mother? She has
Fine Ciara?
Yeah, she has
The beautiful Ciara?
Yeah, because, you know, she was engaged to Future. They had a beautiful son, and then things fell apart, and now she's a single mom. But when Russell comes into her life, they're just head over heels for each other. But he's like, we're gonna do it the right way. We're gonna be abstinent. What's your take on that?
Hold on. Okay, this Russell guy, was told to do this, or he decided to do it?
He said God told him, so he's doing it Jesus' way.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I've been looking for Jesus for a while too. I've been really want to holler at him. 'Cause I have some questions I question some of his work. And I just don't see me accepting that information. If I had the opportunity to be with Ciara, I'll be like, hey, pump your brakes, God. Pump your brakes, Jesus. I'm going to have to handle this one with my own money. I'm going to have to go holler at Ciara. But what would be the wrong thing about participating in the act of lovemaking with Ciara? I don't get it. I mean...
See, okay, then, here's a scenario by you saying that. See, because, you know, I've done that route before. I said, you know what, I'm going to go find me a good Christian guy. I'm going to go to church, be a good Christian guy. He won't be in a hurry to have a sexual relationship because he's a Christian. So I met a guy. It was great. He was just like every other guy. He wanted to get right into a sexual relationship. And I'm sitting there like, and he told me, he said, Patricia, I'm a man. Number one thing about men, they always are gonna wanna place it. Find a place to place it. Are you serious? Is that really, Patrick? Is that really what men, be honest with me. Men are always trying to place it.
This is really good. Vagina is as valuable as you make it. And I mean from a man's point of view. If I think it's gold, then it will be gold. If I think it's mud, then it will be mud. In other words, some women, they would dangle in your face like it's a prize, like it's worth some money. That's the worst investment you can make in your life. It has no value. It's only yours while you're in it. They don't even trade on the stock market. I mean, that's my take on it. But some people will kill you over that vagina. But I call it the vagina has no value. I don't place vagina. I place value on the woman that she represents. Her position as what I call a door opener. And now let me explain to you a door opener. A door opener is, for example, Jay-Z, highly respected, love his music, hell of a businessman. But Jay-Z can open all the doors he probably can on his own. What woman would be in his life that would open the door for him that he couldn't? He found her. Because I saw Jay-Z at the presidential inauguration, and I guarantee you, he wouldn't have been there without Beyonce. Beyonce opened that door for him. I love Swizz Beatz. A lot of people don't even know who he is. I saw Swizz Beatz in the front row of the Oscars. There's no way he would have been there without Alicia Keys. They opened them doors for him. So it goes back to, it's okay to give up a little nookie, because if he gonna stay with you, that's not gonna keep him. What's between your legs is not gonna keep him. If he gonna stay, because once he get it, you can play the games, you can put him on a 90-day hiatus or whatever, but once he get it, you lost your power. You have no power. If that's where your value system in your relationship is. Well, if your relationship has a value system of the type of woman you are, whether he give it to him or not, he gonna stick around. He gonna stick around. Because it ain't about what's between your legs. But that dangling between that carrot, it ain't no carrot, baby. It ain't no carrot. So relationships, you gotta watch it.
But Patrick, on a sad note, we all know about Kourtney Kardashian, She took a gamble and she lost. 3 babies with Scott Disick, and, she caught him, apparently, I guess, taking a picture with another girl or something like that, and she walked. So what do you say about that? Is she getting little on Scott, as you said?
Well,
what's the deal with Kourtney?
I think she needs to get little, and I don't look at that as a loss. I mean, if that goes back to that contributor position that's interchangeable, it's time to change out. She has a core world. She has her kids, and she meant to do what she did in having those kids. And it's okay. I'm all by Scott, what she wanted. But Scott's place is going to be somebody else going there. That's contributor spot. It's done. And that's not a bad place. It's like she's pursuing happiness. And he's not contributing happiness to her life. And that's what I say. You have to clear that space out for just a person who's going to bring some smiles to your life. And people don't do that. People will participate in misery before they participate in happiness. And I never got that.
Well, I mean, having this talk with you, it made me remember back in the day when I was shacking up with my boyfriend, and I remember him saying to me, we were in the park looking at this little girl play, and he was like, let's have a cute little girl like that. Let's have a baby. And I was just like, no. Because I was like, I want to get married and da-da-da-da and all that. But I didn't see myself ever marrying him. If I knew back, what I know now back then, I would have had that baby with him in a heartbeat, and I would have kept that family tradition going. Because I'm just like, I'm over it. And you know what?
Yeah.
I heard he's single. I may give him a call and say, hey, you still want to make that baby? Because it would be a pretty baby.
And you know what? I think Kourtney will be fine. And I wonder if she take your application.
No, you think Scott Disick was a problem? No,
Oh,
don't take this one.
I'm way better than Disick, man. Disick is off the chain. What's going on with him? But you know what? He ain't happy either. And that's all it boils down to, is who are we or anyone to say how people should participate or pursue happiness. You have your own way and your own choice. Once you identify what it takes to make you happy, then you should go full speed ahead and all in, like poker.
I don't know. I'm not good at gambling.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's what's going on this week in our pop culture world. Thanks for you guys for tuning in and hearing us do a little relationship talk. But, look out for us next week on another episode, Inside the Cage.
Peace.